Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video let's do the unboxing and have a first look at this Redmi K50i 5G smartphone. And guys, if you recall, this K series is supposed to be the value flagship series from Xiaomi. The K20 series became very popular. Now we have this K50i, and this is powered by the MediaTek 8100 SoC Dimensity, and this is supposed to be pretty powerful chipset, guys, based on 5nm process that's based on TSMC, so it should be very power efficient and pretty good chipset. And it also says Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. And guys, this is a review unit, so as you can see the pricing is marked out, so I also do not know the pricing, but considering the specs that this one has, if Xiaomi is pretty aggressive, I think so this can be around 25,000 to, but again we know the dollar price and all those price increases that are happening, so I estimate anywhere from 25 to 29,000. Let's see how it gets priced. I also do not know the pricing, so let's open this up, and here it says some of the specs about the Dimensity 8100. I'll talk about that later, and we'll also do some benchmarks and see the performance. It comes with 67-watt fast charger. It says Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, so hopefully stereo speaker should be there, and it says 144 hertz screen. That's nice, and says Corning Gorilla Glass, so that's good. And 64 megapixel triple camera, and of course they have sent us the 8GB RAM variant with 256 gigabytes of storage. One thing that I like on this smartphone is, guys, 8GB of RAM. What is this? Is actually LPDDR5 RAM, not LPDDR4, which is actually a lot more faster, and even the storage is UFS 3.1. so in areas of RAM and storage they are not doing any cost cutting, so actually this should give actually pretty good performance. As I've told you guys in the later part of the video, I'll also try to run some benchmarks. SIM ejector tool is there, and we fortunately get a case, so at least Xiaomi is bundling a case. It's a, what do you say, TPU kind of a case that you're getting, and this is the device itself. It's the slightly bluish color. It changes the color, guys, and back is that polycarbonate kind of a thing, guys, back finish, so plastic, but the front is supposed to be Gorilla Glass 5. Triple camera setup. We'll look at the device later. I'll just put that to the side. Let's see what else do we get. So we do get this 67-watt charger, and it's big, man. This is huge. If you just see, big charger, and so here it says 67-watt charger, and this is the charging cable. Again, use these charging cables, guys, always with these high wattage chargers. So you have the USB type A to type C that you are getting on this one. So I'll just keep these things to the side. Let's look at the handset itself now. So here is the handset itself, and let me give you a physical overview. Oh, nice to see a 3.5mm headphone jack, so that's nice. This is supposed to even have stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos. We'll check it when we boot it up, and some vents over here for the stereo speakers, I'm assuming. Looks like IR blaster is there. Xiaomi does give IR blaster, so nice to see that option is there. We have the volume rocker, and looks like power on off button with the what do you say, fingerprint scanner embedded on this one. And the bottom will be the speaker. This will be your SIM tray. Let's see the configuration. I doubt this will have a micro SD card because it's having UFS 3.1 storage, and the SD cards generally slow that. Yes, as you can see, dual SIM, but we also have a rubber gasket, so that's interesting. And on this end, actually nothing is there on this device. Moving to the back, we have the camera, triple camera setup. The main camera is a 64 megapixel, then we have 8 megapixel ultra wide, and then we have this 2 megapixel obligatory camera that we guys love. Front facing is supposed to be a 16 megapixel, and the main camera sensor is by Samsung, and this is supposed to have a 6.6-inch screen with a 144 hertz display. Let's just boot this up, guys, and let me just set this up, then we will continue. So guys, I have set up this device. In fact, I've used it now for a couple of hours. I also ran some benchmarks and stuff because I wanted to see how this Dimensity 8100 performs. This is the first time I'm using a smartphone with this one, and I have to say this processor is really fast. But first, let's have a look at this one. And the first thing is this is having a 6.6 inch screen, and you can set it to 144 hertz. I have actually set it to 144, but the thing is that this is not an AMOLED screen, guys. This is a normal LCD screen that we are getting on this one. I wished they gave an AMOLED screen. That way it would have been great, but it's a good quality LCD screen, also Dolby Vision and Dolby certified. So nevertheless, it's a decent screen, but I wish they gave an AMOLED screen. If we go down, let me just first talk about the screen. I like some of the options that they have given. For example, if you go to the display option over here, and if you go to the refresh rate, by default, guys, it will be on this one, so it automatically adjusts. But you can go to the custom, and here I like the fact that you can set it to 144 hertz, 90 or 60. I like the option of even providing 90 hertz, because what I've seen in a lot of smartphones, they just have a 60 and the maximum. Sometimes the middle ground is great for getting the best battery life. So I like that option, but I've just forced it to 144 hertz all the time, and it's very smooth, butter smooth on this one. And again, because of the processor also, the Dimensity 8100, it is handling everything at even this 14400 very smoothly with this MIUI. This is running MIUI 13 out of the box, that runs on Android 12. If I go over here and if I show you about the phone, as you can see, and I asked the Xiaomi officials, because this is a review note, I could ask them. They told me regarding Android upgrades, this will get the next 2 Android upgrades, so Android 13 and 14, and next 3 years of Android security upgrades. So that's regarding that one. And again, this is typical MIUI, guys, that we have seen. So the one thing is that this is a good thing and a bad thing also. One thing surprising was that in fact I installed these apps, the Call of Duty and some of the apps, Antutu and all these things, for benchmarking. But by default, what I liked is not a lot of junkware was installed. There is some bloatware, for example, Netflix, Facebook, Amazon, these were pre-installed. And also this LinkedIn, where did it go? Facebook, LinkedIn was installed. Geekbench also, I have installed it. So apart from that, and of course, Mi apps like Mi Pay, of course, is a Xiaomi phone, so you will have that. So apart from that, and the Spotify, and there was the Zillow. Apart from that, no Tuk, Pak, or Daily Hunt, or these or that crappy apps were there. So that way it is clean. But yes, there was some bloatware on this one. Another thing that I noticed on this smartphone is that stereo speakers, if you notice, we have the grill over here. This is normal in all the phones. But for the this one, also here also we have a speaker grill. That's why when I was testing the stereo speaker, it performed a lot better. For example, as you can see, the stereo separation is very good, because if I block it over here, good amount of sound comes from here, and I'll block this one. So the thing is that because we have grills on both the sides, the stereo separation is very good. Generally, what happens in many of the mid-range or other phones where they give stereo speakers is that most of the sound, 65 to even 70% of the sound comes from this, and only a little bit of sound comes from the this one, because the earpiece acts as a speaker. Here, because they are having a dedicated grill over here, the sound separation was very well done. And again, if you go over here, you can also enable Dolby Atmos on that. That way it is actually nice. I also ran some benchmarks, guys. First, let's talk about the Geekbench. And guys, here we got a single score of 924 and multi-core of 3687, which is actually very good. And guys, if you know Xiaomi phones, there is a setting. This was taken in the normal mode. If you go here and if you go to performance, search for performance mode, by default it's on balance. So I did that testing on balance, but for Antutu, once I tested it on balanced and once on performance to see what's the maximum that we can get, and got some very interesting results. Let me just show you. If I go over here, okay, this was done in balanced, and here we got a score of 7,66,968, which is in fact not bad at all. In fact, very good score considering the price of the smartphone, what we might be getting for. But when I put it on performance mode, just notice the score, 8,16,000. And at this price point, around 25, 26, 27,000, what we are getting is from Qualcomm is Snapdragon 778. Not only as you can see, this is the Antutu score that we got, and again, very good score. Apart from that, I also ran the storage test, and because this is having UFS 3.1, here also a very good results. Bottom line, what all this all mumbo jumbo means? This means this is a very good, very fast smartphone. Truly, I could say a value flagship kind of performance. If you're looking for that fast performance or something like that, yes, this Dimensity 8100 handles it. And another thing that I noticed is that while even running the benchmarks, the back did not get extremely hot. Yes, it got a little bit warm to touch after running the benchmarks again and again, but it was not very hot. So looks like this is because of the Dimensity 8100 chipset. This is based on 5 nanometer process that's based on TSMC, which is supposed to be more power efficient. Another thing is that this smartphone, Redmi also claims that this one actually has 7 layers of graphite cooling and vapor chamber. So even if you're doing heavy tasks on this one, it will handle it fine. Again guys, here are all the specs for this specific smartphone, so that you know all the things. Well, another small thing that I noticed is that if you notice, the Bluetooth version is 5.3 on this one. In many of the phones, even flagships, it's still hovering around Bluetooth 5.2. So nice to see they are putting the latest on this one. Small things that I've noticed. And again, the in-hand, okay, I completely forgot about the fingerprint scanner. Fingerprint scanner is over here, and if you just touch it, it unlocks. So this is actually pretty cool. Again, if you're a right-handed person, it will be very easy to work. So again, I did not have any issues with the fingerprint scanner. This is the case. I didn't put it in the case earlier, so let me just show you. So this is how the smartphone looks when it's in the case. And I would say, if you're buying the smartphone, use the case, because this back is this polycarbonate plastic. So I don't know, in the long term, this might get scratched up if you use it without the case. But yeah, but overall, in terms of performance, it was actually pretty good. Now let's also talk about the camera. So this is the default, and again, this is the ultra wide. And if you notice, the shutter is fast. And again, it's the processor, it's handling the stuff very easily on this one. And if I go over here, you have all the modes, so everything is there in terms of modes. You even have a dedicated 64 megapixel mode on this one. And if I open it again, as you can see, photo, and this is the 16 megapixel front facing. By default guys, the beauty mode and all those things are actually on. So just disable it, otherwise it will look actually pretty weird, especially in the portrait mode. But let me actually now show you sample shots taken with this smartphone. First, let's look at some outdoor samples, and as you can see, in outdoor condition, it does a good job. This is regular shot, this is ultra wide. Again, one more example, regular shot, and this was with ultra wide. And overall, I would say outdoor shots, it does a good job. Now, these were taken in artificial lighting conditions, and here I feel it did perform much better than what I expected. These were in very dull lighting conditions. Yes, the picture is slightly soft, but considering the lighting, I feel it did a decent job. For the front-facing camera, I feel it can be improved because the skin tones have a slight reddish tone. That's what I've noticed. Recording this video with the rear facing camera, and you can set it up to 4K. So I've set it to 4K guys, and you also have a stabilization option. So I've enabled that stabilization option in 4K, and as you can see, I'm walking around. It looks like it's actually doing a pretty good job. I don't see any jerks, but what do you guys feel about this one? This is in 4K. And I've enabled that stabilization option. Now again in 4K, but I've disabled that stabilization option. So yes, there is, when you're walking, that slight jitter is there if you don't enable that stabilization option. Recording this video with the front-facing camera of this Redmi K50i, and you can record up to 1080p, no 4K, but 1080p up to 60 FPS is supported. I'm just recording this one. As you can see, I'm just walking around so that you get an idea how is the performance. Let me just go like this. Okay, the background is blown like that if I go, but here it's slightly better. But this is a sample with the front-facing camera. So guys, this is the Redmi K50i 5G smartphone. And regarding 5G, I completely forgot. This one has 12 bands of 5G. So that way you are covered regarding 5G. But what do you guys feel about this Redmi K50i smartphone? As I told you guys, I just do not know the exact pricing of this smartphone. But if Xiaomi can price this smartphone aggressively in India around that 25,000 price point, I feel for the performance that you're getting thanks to the MediaTek Dimensity 8100 chipset, this is actually a pretty powerful smartphone. And I would say this smartphone is for users who are looking for a very powerful processor and also would like to have a very fast refresh rate screen like 144 Hz or something like that, and good stereo speakers. If you're that kind of a person, you can certainly have a look at this one. And again, keeping my fingers crossed regarding the pricing. When I know that, I'll add that in the description. But anyways, guys, what do you feel about this Redmi K50i? Do let me know in the comment section below. That's it for now. And guys, if you're still not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video, guys. Take care.